Natal Mercury and Aquarius. In this video, I'm going to be discussing Natal Mercury and Aquarius, everything you need to know about this placement, how to master this placement, and what you can expect when someone has their Natal Mercury and Aquarius. All right, let's talk about it. So now the first thing, Mercury functions the best here as Aquarius is associated with being innovative and different. So if you have Natal Mercury and Aquarius, you should be proud. This Mercury functions at its best in Aquarius. And the reason why that is because Aquarius energy is associated with being innovative and different. So you want everybody, I mean, if you could ask anybody, they would tell you they would love to have a very innovative and different mind, because when you're innovative, that leads to riches, that leads to greatness, that leads to being a genius. Okay, so going back to my point, Mercury functions the best here, and that's a wonderful thing if you have this placement, because it gives you an innovative and different and genius-like mind. This is similar to having Natal Mercury in the 11th house, because Aquarius rules the 11th house. So if you have displacement, you want to make sure you study Natal Mercury in the 11th house as well, because you will find that that information resonates with you and it sounds like you, because Aquarius rules the 11th house. These people love saying things to shock others. All right, so this is a very typical thing with Mercury and Mercury and Aquarius people, is they love saying things to shock others. Like they'll just say something crazy just to get your reaction and just to see how you're going to react. They can be cold, impersonal, aloof, and detached in their way of speech and thinking. All right, so this is on the downside when they're not at their best as far as socially and connecting with others in a positive way. They can come off as cold, impersonal, aloof, and detached. Like it's hard to connect with these people. It's like they're just so detached and indifferent to others. These people are geniuses in their own way. They don't think like other people, which is a great thing. All Natal Mercury and Aquarius people, they have an inner genius. It's about them tapping into that inner genius. They have very scientific minds. Natal Mercury and Aquarius people tend to be very big on science and especially love astrology. A lot of Natal Mercury and Aquarius people are just naturally drawn towards astrology because astrology is a science, right? So yeah, Natal Mercury and Aquarius people with scientific minds. They are natural rebels. Aquarius energy is associated with being a rebel. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, all right? So when people have this placement, they just have that natural rebel spirit in them, like just rebel without a cause. Aquarius Mercuries would be good in careers that involve science, technology, and humanitarianism. These are Aquarian-like matters: science, technology, and humanitarianism. So if you have Natal Mercury and Aquarius, these are good careers to get involved in, careers that have to do with science, technology, and humanitarianism, because these are topics that come to you easily and you find it very easy to understand. Celebrity example: Steve Jobs and Floyd Mayweather. Steve Jobs, it's extremely obvious. I mean, he revolutionized the technology industry. And Floyd Mayweather, if you don't know much about him, how you can tell that he has his Natal Mercury and Aquarius is people always talk about how he approaches boxing from such a mental perspective. He's able to detach himself and not get emotional when it comes to fights. He's able to see the fight for what it is. He looks at fighting from such an objective perspective, and that's always helped him have the mental edge over his opponents, because where they approach it, where they're all personal and it's all macho, like this is a personal thing for them to win, Floyd Mayweather looks at it from a business, from a very scientific, detached perspective, like, look, this is mental how I'm coming after you. All right, so thank you for watching. That's everything you need to know. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Take care.